Welcome to Lesson 4 in Unit 14, Bugs and Blooms. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how might color affect the katydid's survival? In this lesson, students investigate the advantages that coloration provides for the katydid. Students figure out that some differences in characteristics between organisms help them survive and reproduce. Students make connections to the storyline by figuring out you see more green katydids because they are harder for prey to find. There are several opportunities for ELA and math cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 14 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 3 to 4 days to complete. For the Engage portion, you'll introduce a new anchoring phenomenon. You'll pass out the MySci article, Case Study of Pink Katydids. You'll tell students that they learned about bees and how they help plants grow, and now they are going to investigate another interesting insect, the katydid. You'll ask students what they notice about the numbers of pink and green katydids in the article. As students are sharing their observations and questions, you'll provide them with the sentence stem, "Now I'm wondering about," to model how we can use observations to develop questions. You'll revisit the driving question board and add any new questions and highlight others connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about the colors of the katydids. For the Explore portion, you'll set up the katydid trait and survival investigation. There is a detailed procedure for this activity. Students will investigate finding different colors of toothpicks on different colored backgrounds. They'll then make a bar graph on the board and chart paper. This will be a model for the bar graph that students will make independently later in the lesson. You'll provide students with the Traits and Survival Data student journal pages. They will create a bar graph to show the amount of toothpicks found of each color. Once they have finished the bar graph, have students answer the first 2 questions. They will come back to the last question at the end of this lesson. In the Explain portion of the lesson, students will engage in a class discussion. You'll invite them to gather and analyze their observations and learning from the activity. You'll use the provided questions to guide the discussion around how might color affect the katydid's survival. The goal of this class discussion is to analyze student data and find patterns that help students explain why certain colored katydids survive and are able to reproduce longer than other colored katydids. You will use the discussion to create the Lesson 4 summary chart. From the discussion, students should understand the pink katydids don't survive because they stand out. They don't blend in with the environment, so they are easier prey. During the discussion, you'll have students read Suited for Survival. For the Elaborate portion, you'll look back at the case of the pink katydids and ask students how the data compares to their investigation. You'll complete the summary chart discussion. For the Evaluate portion, you'll have students complete the Quick Check at the bottom of the Traits and Survival Data Quick Check student journal page. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient them back to the driving question board. Ask, what did we learn about how color might affect the katydid's survival? And what additional questions do you have now? By the end of this lesson, students will have used evidence to construct an explanation for how variations in characteristics among individuals of the same species provide advantages in surviving and finding mates. In the next lesson, students will explore what makes some katydids green and others pink. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.